Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Bashim HaKadash. Double honors to the elders apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to the Akyam and Akwat worldwide. So, this video is about Denmark rolling out these passports for, well, you can read it right there, because these are some words, passport for this pandemic jab. I think jab or shot is still a word in English that you can use without getting your channel striked, suspended, deleted, or your videos deleted, because my main channel where I do videos in the Finnish language, it just got suspended for 1 week with a video that I was using code words like Maxine, etc. So I wasn't even saying the name of the pandemic or what they're offering against it. This jab or shot right here, I didn't even say this. I was using code words, and still they took down the video and gave me a 1 week suspension. So I have to be careful, but you can read it right here. It's a little bit old article, just over a week ago, but still something to definitely highlight, because this is some of the ways that they're going to force these jabs on the people. They're still under the tag of being of not being mandatory, not being obligatory. But then you have things like this, that you cannot travel without taking the jab. So I don't see how that's so voluntarily offered. Okay, so Denmark is planning to introduce a digital jab passport soon to enable citizens with jabs against pandemic travel to countries where such documents may be obligatory for entry during the pandemic. So this is ESAU creating a decree, which is unrighteous decree. I'm going to go to the scripture in a second, that if you don't take this jab on your jab passport, you cannot travel to countries anymore. When I was in the world, I used to, really like traveling. I was traveling all over the world, and as a worldly guy, I was enjoying it. So now they are even taking that away. So people who are still in the world, their rings should start to bell that. Their bells should start to ring, Salakia, that this ESAU's so-called white man system is done away with. We're gonna go to the scripture, Isaiah 10:1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. So this is a major example of an unrighteous decree. Another one is the mandatory implementation of the RFID microchip, mark of the beast of the book of Revelation chapter 13. That's an unrighteous decree. And when it says woe unto, it means destruction unto. So it's ESAU, the so-called elite white men, who are making these decrees. So Bible is prophesying their destruction, which we are so close from it, okay? The jab passport will be rolled out in early 2021. Right now it's early 2021. The Danish Health Ministry told local broadcasters those jabbed would be able to obtain the document through the country's public health website. It's our expectation that there could be a requirement from other countries to produce jab vaccine, pandemic vaccine documentation at entry. This is where a Danish jab passport can be used, the ministry explained in an emailed response. So right now there's countries who are taking heed to this crap. okay, that you cannot travel without a jab. The passport will be regularly updated as soon as new data on the transmission of the pandemic, as well as the effectiveness and length of the protection provided by the jabs becomes available. I'm gonna skip a bit. The idea of the jab passport was praised by the Transport Department of the Confederation of Danish Industry. that sounds official. You know, some high ups are obviously top level Freemasons, and they're just following their orders. So their head, Michael Swain, said that the document will be a way for us to put restrictions behind us and travel by air much more. So they're of course praising this unrighteous decree. Swain also expressed hope that an international solution will be worked out to allow for such jab passports to be used everywhere around the globe. So these devils are hoping that you literally cannot travel no more without this jab. And you see here, Vladimir Putin, head of Russia, is agreeing. He's agreeing with what I'm reading right now. Several international bodies and companies have been working to develop digital vaccine, so like a jab passports or smartphone apps that would see people uploading their data to assure safe travel or entry to concert venues, stadiums, movie theaters, and other public places. Let's see if there's anything. Yeah, so that's about it. So you can see that this is an idea which a major country like Russia is already agreeing with. So even right now you cannot travel without the tests, and I don't at all recommend even taking the tests. So if you cannot travel to another country without taking a test, you should just stay where you are. Then it's destined for you to be there. Okay, and not to trust ESAU and these offerings that they are offering. This book of Sirach or Ecclesiasticus chapter 12 verse 10, never trust thine enemy. You go to the Psalms chapter 83, it lists out our enemies. It says the tabernacles of Edom, that's the white man of today. That's the first enemy. So we cannot trust them, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou had wiped a looking glass. And thou shalt know that his rust has not been altogether wiped away. So they can try to make themselves without fault, trustable, and like they would want to help, but you have to look with a looking glass. Look with the knowledge of these scriptures. Filter everything they are saying and doing through the word of the Bible, and then you can see that yes, there is still the rust in there. Obviously, this is the same people that enslaved us physically as Israelites. Okay, so I will get Revelation chapter 3 verse 10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So, which this is really talking about is the mandatory implementation of the microchip, RFID microchip mark of the beast, but you can also apply it here in this jab situation. They making these jab passports, and that's oppression. You not being able to travel without agreeing to their unrighteous decree. So in conclusion, just trusting in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai to guide you into staying in a path that will lead you to salvation and to escape from the wrath of ESAU. It says in the same book, Revelation chapter 12 verse 12, that they are coming with great wrath. So now it has begun. It really began last year, 2020, so now it's just getting hotter and hotter. So you gotta stay prayed up, fasting, to escape these perils, these evils, these bad times. And not to fall, into the wrong path. That's the hope. That's the hope behind the hopeful elect. And even if you get put to death, you do it in an honorable way, that you are the first ones that will get beamed up. It says that in the 1 Corinthians chapter 15. So that's it for this video. Shalom.